They start storming our position, tanks, APCs, and infantry. When the fog cleared, the tank started working, set up the sight, went out, took the shot. There were up to 80 FPV in a day, just before lunchtime. We let them approach, and from 100 meters away, we see 100% that we're putting them down. And we put them down. In this episode, Ukrainian border guards will show and tell about the fierce battles for the settlement of Novomykhailivka, Donetsk region. There, the Russian occupation forces are constantly attacking with a large number of infantry, armored vehicles, and drones. How the Ukrainian soldiers on the front lines managed to hold back the enemy's offensive, you will find out right now. Novomykhailivka, March 2024. Border guards of the 6th Border Guard Detachment are carrying out a combat mission to defend this beautiful settlement. Together with the 79th Brigade, it's calmed down a bit, so I can film. The first times we began our shifts, there was still a sense of security. Reinforcement units were placed there. Until then, I don't remember what date it was, along this defense line, there was fog. That's it. And they've already entered the village. And then there were such battles that really happened 5 to 50 meters even, in that same basement, cellar. That's how the assault goes. And we're not assaulting. They're assaulting us. But we're holding on, the first with honor. What tactics do they have? How do they operate? Human wave attacks, daytime, nighttime. It might even be that they send one person without armor, without a helmet, just with a radio. They lie down, hide somewhere with a blanket, something else that the thermal imager doesn't see. And they can just lie there for a day, 2 or 3. They're listening, transmitting information on the radio about what's happening. What the guys at our positions are saying. And based on this information, they can advance. He also lies down, spotting the positions of our guys. They are covering us with artillery. And when they are covering us with artillery, you can't stick out. Shit. The first 2 days in these extreme positions they threw, as I say, their meat. These are convicts, sick people, etc. Because there were 3 types there. Soldiers with no equipment, those wearing white bands, and those with green bands. Then later, as it turned out, they dressed in our uniform, stuck our bands, and came to us. And they speak like they're our guys. It was more to the right side than ours was fixed. They walked, as I said earlier, the first meet for 2 days. They just determined our positions. Here he goes 150 meters away from us. I'm standing in position with a friend, and we just shoot them down. He falls, they flee. We determined that this was meat coming. And when the regulars came, they gave us a hard time, but we were in a more advantageous position. We tried to shoot back, but they shot back at us. We shot back at them later. He sat down and then shot at us, because meat didn't do that. Damn it. And further, I liked how our drone operators worked. He informed me that a group was coming. I already knew from which side. I took a comfortable position for myself. They came out already in a column, one after the other, approximately 3 to 5 meters. I let the first one through to the forest. The second one, only the third appeared. I always thought there would be. There were times when we attacked positions there. They go, you don't count that you liquidated someone. And I was leading precisely, the first, the second. I eliminated literally in 3 or 4 seconds. The third, and then our mortars started working. They stopped this group. There were 8 men. And they went back to their positions. Then their vehicles were hit, BMPs, and they usually crawled out from there. So, this is our war. You say they got quite close to you. Did you hear what they were saying, or maybe what they were shouting at you? How do they behave? There were a lot of moments. They lost the intersection as 150 meters away. If he went straight, he came to us. One enemy passed our positions and went. These were my first few days at the position. Then, through the radio, they say to us, one is walking around, strolling down the street. Meet him. Take him prisoner. Look at the situation. We meet him, packed him up, tied him up. Took him with us. This guy, I don't know his name. I know he's from Chuvashia. Well, he went purely for money, but he wasn't paid. He has a first aid kit, and there were some strange syringes inside. There were supposed to be 2, but he injected 1 for himself to get high. This is drugs, strong painkillers. The night passed without incident. Well, in the morning, they reported that enemy storm was in the brewing. They filled it with smoke. Where the cemetery was, there was such a 500-meter field. They started to storm our position. Tanks, APCs, and infantry. Again, we kept targeting, hitting them from our positions. Our guys were there too. Ukrainian armed forces and our border guards. It lasted about 2 hours. We destroyed this storm. I saw clearly that there were 2 tanks and 1 APC were knocked out, finished off. Was it from artillery? Yes, our artillery fired, and they finished them off with cluster munitions later, essentially to the last one. The drone didn't see it then. It means we heard, but we didn't see where exactly. When the fog cleared, the enemy tank started working. I saw in my emotions that he was shooting at our guys. He took the one shot, we call it, one shot AT-4 grenade launcher. I went out, set it up, set up the sight, went out, took the shot. I run up asking the guys, did I hit or miss? We had a guy on the machine gun. His position was a bit higher. He shouts, hit! I go look around. I see that the vehicles are driving away. Somewhere around the mechanic's side, it's burning. The right side of the tank was facing towards me. Something's burning, and it grumbled, and stalled. About 30 seconds later, they take out another enemy wounded from behind it. Our guys from the neighboring positions, our machine gunner, started firing at them because they were very visible. They abandoned their wounded one. They hid away, and the wounded one was screaming, and then stopped screaming, so to speak. Is this a very effective and frightening weapon? For infantrymen to destroy tanks should be an interesting moment. Understanding that you yourself weigh 80 kilograms and you hit a toy that weighs 40 to 60 tons. So a heap of metal weighing 40 to 60 tons, it's just... Moreover, considering its cost, what damage you, just one person, inflicted, so to speak, and looking at the field where the tank stood, slightly to the right, there are dozens of their vehicles. Simply, their knocked-out vehicles are standing there. There's an Orcs tank. 3 BMPs. And there's another one further. There were up to 80 enemy FPV in a day, just before lunchtime. Up to 80? 80, that's what we counted. We didn't count further. Then one would come in about an hour or 2 or 3. So could there have been 100 in a day? Nah, there could have been more than 100. That's just what we heard. And there was even more from right to left. Is this the work of an FPV drone in one position? They were flying towards our side constantly. And today a gift came to us. It flew incendiary. Everything was burning. Tore out a log. The RPG charges didn't detonate, luckily. Otherwise, we'd be as grilled as chickens. They cause trouble when it flies towards you. When it flies elsewhere, it plays more on the emotional level, meaning they sometimes circle. You can't move or run away because it will spot us. It spots positions, and it can fall near you. I understand that the drones were very helpful to you. Very much. If not for them and the radio, I wouldn't have left there. I don't say it was divine, but it seems like God's help. That's what I got. And the help of the 79th Brigade, yes, I really liked how their operators work, and our 120mm artillery. Either the places are pre-sighted, they hit straight and beautifully. Overall, how is the cooperation between the border guards and the AFU? I would say it's 110% for us, meaning the same radios we transmit. We need a drone. In 5 to 7 minutes, the drone comes and observes. We have some time for a tea or a peaceful smoke. We now know that someone is watching behind us. The 6th Border Guard Detachment and the 79th Air Mobile Brigade rapidly reloading grenade launcher belt for AGS. There were many moments. The drone flies and they see that there are 4 bodies approaching us in approximately 2 blocks. We've already got it. We're ready. We're waiting for them. We let them approach, and from 100 meters away, we see 100% that we're putting them down. And we put them down. What emotions or thoughts arise when you see how casually they treat human life, their personnel? When you're told to shoot at them, you start playing target practice, but overall, what's the first thought that comes? Where do they get so many people? And where do they get them from? That is not the first time this has happened, but it's repeating day after day. That's it. They try to fly from one side, from the other side, in small groups. And the first question, where do they get so many people? What do they tell them? Or maybe they give them some drugs, I don't know. That they just fly forward and that's it, under the bullets. If you are interested in today's episode and would like me to continue doing episodes like this next, then let me know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment. You can support the author by the details in the description. Thank you.